Good morning. This is Lars Olson, and this is today's Quiet Echo. A young couple came into my store last week with the problem I hear more than any other. They had bought their first house, a small one, an old one, and the kitchen was about the size of a closet. And they had a number in their heads for what it would cost to knock out a wall and do it right, and the number was not one they had. They stood there in the middle of my aisle looking plain whipped, the both of them. "We cannot afford to do it the way it ought to be done," the husband said to me. Now, I have been selling hardware a long time, and I am going to tell you a truth I have learned standing behind this counter. The people who can afford to do it the way it ought to be done almost never do anything interesting. It is the ones who cannot afford it who surprise me. Let me tell you about a car. On this day, back in 1959, a company in England put a little car on the road called the Mini. You have seen one. They are adorable, and they are everywhere, and there is a reason for both. But the reason is not the one you would guess. The Mini was not born out of somebody's big dream. It was born out of a corner nobody could get out of. There had been a fuel crisis. Gas was scarce, and it was dear. And an order came down to a designer named Alec Izagonis. Build us a car to sip fuel, cost next to nothing, and still carry 4 grown adults. And to make it harder, they would not even let him build a fresh engine. He had to use one they already had sitting on the shelf. And the whole car could be no bigger than a box about 10 feet long, 4 adults. 10 feet, a borrowed engine, cheap, go. Now, a lesser man complains about a job like the one he was handed. He writes a memo about why it cannot be done. Izagonis went quiet, and he got clever. He could not make the box any bigger on the outside, so he set out to make the inside of it enormous. He turned the engine sideways, which simply was not done, to steal back a precious foot. He shoved the wheels way out to the 4 corners, out of everybody's way. He tucked the gearbox down underneath the engine, where nobody had thought to put it. And when he was finished, 80% of the little car was room for people. 80%. He had been handed a cage, and he built a cathedral inside it. And here is the part worth your mourning. The Mini did not just win, it changed everything. Nearly every small car on the road today, all over the world, is laid out the way Izagonis laid out the Mini, because a man stuck in a tight corner in 1959 went looking for a better way, the kind of better way nobody staring at a blank check ever bothers to find. Let me tell you something I do not say to many people. When I bought this store, all those years ago, I did not have the money to fit it out the way the fixture catalogs wanted me to. Not even close. So I could not buy the counter I wanted, and I could not buy the shelving I wanted. I built them myself, out of salvaged lumber, over about 3 weekends, cursing the whole time. And I will tell you what. Those homemade shelves are the thing people still remark on when they walk in the door. Solid as a church. Fit the space exactly, right to the crooked old wall in the back, because I measured it and made them fit, which no factory shelf on earth was ever going to do. If I had had the money, I would have bought something worse, and never known the difference. The empty wallet built me a better store. So back to my couple, and their closet of a kitchen, and their whipped faces. I did not tell them about the car, and I did not tell them about my shelves. But I told them what those 2 things had taught me. The wall you cannot afford to move, I said, is going to give you a better kitchen than the wall you could. Because now, you are forced to be clever. You cannot just throw money at it and make the trouble disappear. You have to look at the little room the way Izagonis looked at his little box and ask it what it can do, instead of standing there cursing it for what it cannot. They came back in on Saturday, both of them lit up, with a drawing on the back of a paper bag, narrow counters, a fold-down table, shelves clear to the ceiling, a place for every last thing. It was better than the version they could not afford. Of course it was. The corner made it better. So here is your practical truth for a Wednesday morning. The limit you are cursing right now, the budget, the small house, the not enough, the flat no, is not the enemy of your best work. More often than not, it is the mother of it. The blank check builds the boring thing every single time. Nobody ever lay awake being clever about a problem they could just pay to make go away. It is the corner, the real corner, the one with no easy way out, and only the corner, which builds the Mini. You are boxed in this morning? Good. Then go and get clever. Show me what you can do in 10 feet. The front porch is open, and I have a question for you. What did you build clever, and better, only because you could not afford to build it easy? Come and tell us. And if we get something wrong, tell us, and we will run the correction. The readers of the Cedar Valley News are gathering to share their stories and keep company with respect and no party lines. Come sit with us. I will put the link in the show notes. This is Lars Olson, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series, written by Evan Swenson, publisher, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the hardware store and its people are fictional, the history of the Mini is real. On August 26, 1959, the British Motor Corporation launched the Mini, designed by Alec Izagonis in response to the fuel shortages of the Suez Crisis. Required to use an existing engine and to seat 4 adults in a car roughly 10 feet long, Izagonis mounted the engine transversely, placed the wheels at the corners, and set the gearbox beneath the engine, devoting about 80% of the floor plan to passengers. The transverse, front-wheel drive layout became the template for small cars worldwide. Sources include the BMW Group and Mini Heritage Archives and Contemporary Automotive Histories.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News.